Hey guys and gals, this is Daybreak here, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted to collect a particular line of figures but weren't sure if it was right for you? Or maybe you're like me and you are a little bit too trigger happy and you pick up all these random figures from different lines and you start posing them, you start collecting them, and then you're like, why the hell did I ever pick up this line? Well, if you've ever been in that situation, I'm hoping that this new segment will help you out with the lines that you kind of want to pursue in the near future. This segment will cover all the pros and cons of the line of figures that I am collecting at this point in time. So, coming from someone who's been collecting these figures, I can tell you what the good things about these are and the bad things. So hopefully after you watch a particular video, you will know if you really want to pick up these figures. So starting things off, we are going to be taking a look at the Power Rangers Legacy Collection from Bandai USA. Now, why am I starting off with this set of figures? Well, it's because I recently watched the Power Rangers movie trailer number 2. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of the suits. I am still not a big fan of the Zords, but hey, I'm open-minded. I can't wait for the movie. I really hope they do an amazing job so that we can get some more, I guess, movie-related figures, better quality versions, I guess, and more movies for the Power Rangers franchise. Now, with that said, here we go. So, the first thing we're going to be taking a look at here today is the sculpt of these figures. So we're going to start by looking at the Red Ranger here. He's just going to showcase a little bit of what you can expect. So as you guys can clearly see, this is a male figure, and so he will definitely be muscle bound. As you guys can clearly see, he's rocking out the six-pack, but other than that, he looks pretty show accurate. The helmet sculpt looks spot on. Yes, it's missing a couple of little details here and there, but for the most part, this figure does an amazing job capturing the likeness of the Ranger. I mean, even if you look at the buckler right here, you can see the T-Rex in that coin, which is pretty freaking phenomenal. When it comes to the female body mold and its sculpt, as you guys can clearly see, she is a bit voluptuous up top. Now, if you're not a big fan of that, then you kind of want to stay clear from this wave, or this, I guess, line of figures. If you don't mind it, then hey, pick these up. If you're looking for a more show accurate version, then you're going to have to go with the SH Figuarts, because they are the only ones that look show accurate. Now, with that said, let's move on to their scale. The Legacy Collection, the figures are approximately 6.5 inches tall. So they are a little bit bigger than your average Marvel Legends. They're a lot bigger than your SH Figuarts release of these characters. So yeah, you have to keep that in mind. Now honestly, I personally like this scale because it just looks great. The SH Figuarts, they look good. They're show accurate. I love it. But they're a little too small for my taste. I like these bigger figures because I feel like they won't break as easy. Now, is that really the case? No, but that's just how I feel when I'm handling the particular figure. So that is that. Now, moving on, the paint looks good for the most part. As you guys can clearly see, I'll take In Space Yellow here. She looks fantastic. The colors on her chest are all there. The little emblem thing right above her visor right here looks great. Everything that should be there is there. Now, are there some defects? Yes. Sometimes you can have some paint missing. For example, the Kimberly, the Pink Ranger figure, she is notorious for paint issues. Where exactly? Well, when you're looking at, I guess, the figures on the peg, you want to be aware of the boots or the gloves. For some reason, there's some figures where these diamonds are not colored in. I've seen some blue, some black Rangers have that same issue, but Pink Ranger is the one that I see stand out the most. Now, another issue that you're going to see with paint is the following. The Blue Ranger, the Pink Ranger, and the Black Ranger, they all are missing paint on, and I should have showcased it here, the belt right here. As you guys can clearly see, that is silver. It's just the silver plastic that they used. Why is it that way? I'm not really sure. Someone definitely messed up, but we're not getting any re-release of these where it's fixed, so you're going to have to paint them in if you want to. Now, it's not hard because as you guys can clearly see, I have painted my Blue Ranger's belt with white acrylic paint and it looks pretty good. So takes a little bit of time and effort, but if you can do it, it'll look good. Now, moving on to fun factor. Poseability. Actually, we'll start with articulation. Articulation for this figure or these figures are amazing. So we're gonna first take a look at a guy figure. So we'll take a look at the Yellow Ranger right here. So as you guys can see, the head can look up that far, can look that far down, so really good range of motion there. Side to side, no problem. The arms can hinge out that far, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows for the guy figures, the glove cut, the swivel, and the pivot for the hands, can fully rotate. He has that ab crunch right there. Side to side waist joint, the legs can kick out all the way. There's a thigh cut, there's the double jointed knees, boot cut, and the feet has pretty much everything you could possibly ever want. So when it comes to the guy mold, you're getting a ton of articulation and it just looks really, really good. Moving him to the side right here, when we take a look at the female mold, little different. The head still can look up, pretty far up, which is good. Can look pretty far down. Then the arms can fully rotate. There's the bicep right here. There's single joint elbows, which is alright. And the hands, you have everything. Upper diaphragm joint, very good. She has the waist cut. The skirt right here is cut, but it is still a thicker material, so you're not going to be able to move it that far out. For example, legs can go out that far pretty much before they start coming back in. Legs can go out pretty much that far, so it's pretty much non-existent. Just keep it in mind that. Double jointed knees, boot cut, and she has pretty much every single articulation you can want for a female figure, at least for the legs. Alright, so articulation done. Fun factor, here we go. This is where the Megazords come into play. I guess the Legacy Collection from Bandai USA, they're taking a page from DC and especially Marvel with their Build-A-Figure pieces. Now, they are including pieces for certain Megazords. As you guys can clearly see, we have the Dino Megazord, the Astro Megazord, and there's another Megazord right here. So those are the three Megazords currently out and we are currently building. Unfortunately, this Megazord right here is not completed because we are waiting on the Yellow Ranger from Mighty Morphin so we can finish our Dino Megazord. The Astro Megazord still has I guess pieces that we need to complete that particular Build-A-Figure as well. Now, if you're not really interested in the Megazords, then this might not be the way for you. So keep that in mind. So that's that. Now, let's talk about some cons when it comes to this franchise or this wave. The first and foremost biggest gripe I have with this wave or this line is the following. The Rangers, pretty much every single Ranger you see here besides the Green Ranger they do not come with their main weapons. Now you might be like, Daybreak, you're a liar. I clearly see the power sword here, the axe, Billy's lance. I see Kimberly's bow. I see them all. So why are you saying that they don't come with it? They don't. They don't. Unless it's the Green Ranger, or if you get the Comic-Con exclusive, then you'll get his sword. But if you get the regular retail release for these particular figures, then you will not. Where did I get these weapons? Well, I kind of picked them up from different figures from Bandai USA, or from, like, for example, this right here, the axe and the lance. Those came from Imaginext, so keep that in mind. Another big, I guess, complaint that I have with this line: QC issues. Some QC issues are not as bad as others, but I have seen and I have heard from people that as soon as they get their figures out of the box, they have broken joints, or their legs are put on incorrectly, etc. I hope Bandai fixes these problems, because if they don't, this can really turn off people from picking up these figures. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing is the following: if you're the type of person who likes to pose their figures and change up the pose every 5 minutes or so, then you're going to notice that the joints will get very, very loose. Now that happens with all figures, but this line of figures, I feel like they're a little bit more, I guess, it's going to happen more. I guess that's the best way I can put it. So keep that in mind. If you're like me, you get them posed in one way, you put them in a display, and boom, there it is, then you're gonna have no issues. But if you, like I said, like to pose them, be careful with that. Now, overall thoughts, I think for the price point, which is somewhere around $20 to $23, you can't beat it. You're getting a great scale figure of the Rangers that you enjoy. You're getting a Build-A-Figure piece that comes with each figure, and they just look great. Articulation is fantastic. Sculpt is great. Lacking paint sometimes. QC issues, there are QC issues, but these are phenomenal figures. Now, with that said, one major concern of mine is this moving forward. I see, and a lot of other people see, that the female Rangers are not really selling. Why is that the case? I'm not really sure. But the blue, the pink, and the yellow in Space Ranger, they're just not selling. The guy figures are selling a lot more, and if we continue to see this trend, Bandai USA can definitely, I can see them stopping the whole female figures, which is gonna really suck, because as a collector, I personally like to collect every single member of the team. I'm not really a big fan of just collecting just the Red Rangers or just the 6th Ranger or whatever. I love to see a completed team. So if you guys want to have complete teams, and that's what you enjoy, then SH Figuarts might be the way to go, because they've pretty much completed all their teams besides a couple, like a hand few. But these guys, they're just getting started, so I'm really hoping that they will continue to push. But if the female figures are just not being picked up, then I can definitely see Bandai USA just calling it quits. So let's hope for the best, and let's hope that that doesn't happen. I wouldn't wait too long to pick up some of these characters, because, for example, the Green Ranger, I can see him going for decent money later down the road if you haven't picked him up yet. Some of the other Rangers, like the Black Ranger, the Blue Ranger, they're around, but you might have a harder time finding them if you wait too long. So if you want to take the risk and you want to start picking up these figures right now, they're pretty easy to find, and yeah, you will enjoy them. But like I said, if you're a completist like I am, then you might want to kind of just hand pick your teams that you want to complete. So we know for sure that the Season 1 cast will be completed. We're just missing Trini, so that will be done. The Ninja Storm cast is pretty much done, so if you like Ninja Storm, that's the one to go with. If you're looking for In Space, we know In Space, they have all the molds made and whatnot, so I'm sure they're going to be pumping them out. So it's a safe time to collect these figures if I were you. If you want, let's say, some other teams like Mystic Force, well, don't hold your breath. Hopefully they do, but we never know. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave in the comment section down below if this helped. If you like the format of this video, let me know. If you didn't, please let me know so I can adjust. And if you're new to this channel, once again, thank you for stopping by. Please hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. Please subscribe if you're new. Check out my channel, watch some things, and see if you really like it. And that's that. Once again, if you have any questions about any of these figures, please leave it in the comments section down below. And until next time, guys, this is Daybreak 748, and I'm signing out. Peace out, guys.